Hello guys! Welcome to MKX Mobile. Mad Scientist Star and Sky is here, and today we're gonna do some experimenting. We're gonna find out if Unblockable Chance actually stacks. Let's get into it. Alright, so I see a lot of comments all the time. People saying that put multiple unblockable pieces, or no, unblockable doesn't stack, only one piece is taken into account. Well, today we're gonna answer this definitively once and for all. Now, there's a bunch of pieces of gear that we have that give you unblockable, and for example, Vial of Infinite Blood. It gives you 35% chance for basic attacks and blockable chance. There's plenty of pieces of gear that give you, like Center Blade gives you 45. There's even characters that can give you extra unblockable chance, like Cassie Cage, Sindel, and we're gonna test out if those passive abilities stack with gear as well. Let's get into it. Let's, for example, use this beautiful Fusion Zero Dark Fate Terminator, because why not? Alright, let's start testing. First, we're gonna give him, well, obviously, without Block Breaker, you're not gonna have any Block Breaker chance. Let's start with giving him Vial of Infinite Blood. 30%. Okay, I need to restart, my PC is lagging. Okay, so the way it's gonna work, I'm gonna... After I record this in editing, I'm gonna calculate the number of hits that were blocked and the number of hits that were block breakers. And we're gonna calculate the actual block breaker chance. We got a block breaker there. Okay, this is enough data for 30% block breaker chance. I'm gonna do the calculations after I do another segment with extra 45% chance. So we're gonna have 80% chance in total. And I'm kind of wondering, is it gonna be more? Is it gonna be the same? Or if it's gonna be more, is it gonna be actually 45% more? This is... We're finally doing some testing, guys. We're gonna once and for all answer the question that's been bugging everybody forever. We're gonna find out, guys. Let's do the second part of the experiment. So technically now I should have 75% block breaker. That's gonna be sick, right? I did get a lot of data, and like right now I don't have the numbers yet, but it felt like I was getting way more block breakers than was just 30%. 75% definitely felt like 75%. So far, before running the numbers, I can tell you that I'm feeling that it actually works. Alright, let's make this interesting. Let's make this guy absolutely busted. We're gonna give him a Rusty Chainsaw. So technically, now he should have 90 plus 30, 120%. The question is, does it mean that he's gonna be block breaking on every single hit? Okay, this was interesting. So I did not get 100% block breaker ratio. I still got quite a few hits blocked, but it felt like it was more than 75%. So I think the limit... So the block breaker does stack, but there is a limit. Now let's see how is it gonna be affected. Again, we're gonna do the actual math in a second. I'm gonna I just want to run one more test. I want to put cover up Cassie Cage in my team to give him extra 20%, and I wonder if this 20% is gonna help him maybe bypass that limit, whatever it's set, or is it just hard capped at a certain value? Is there any other way to increase unblockable chance except gear and like character synergies? I wonder. I don't know if it felt like it was more block breaker than the previous time, but it still wasn't at 100%. So my theory right now is that it does stack up to a certain point, and above certain point, it just doesn't make a difference. Unless maybe the enemy has block breaker resistance. Maybe then resistance is taking out before the gap. Or maybe after. It's gonna be really, really difficult to test out, because you need to find a team that has a resistance gear on it and fights constantly against them. So maybe when the tower comes back with the gear that have unblockable unblockable resistance, I'll be able to test it out. But for now, let me run through the numbers and give you the results. Does unblockable stack, and until what point? So I started this experiment to gain some clarity, to try to understand the way unblockable chance works in this game. And by the end of this experiment, I'm even more confused than I was started. I have a huge table of data in front of me right now, and it just doesn't make sense. So, I could show you the numbers, but trust me, numbers don't mean anything. I did the same runs with different characters, with the same set of gear, and I got drastically different results. Also, I had the runs of the same team with the same gear and versus different teams in battle mode, and I had drastically different results. On average, I can tell you right now one thing for 100% surety is that unblockable chance does stack 100% without a shadow of a doubt. I had, with one piece of gear, I had, like, for example, with one piece of gear, 35% chance unblockable chance. I had results from 30 to 50% of actual unblockable chance registered. The formula I used, I divided the number of block breaker hits by the number of blocked hits plus block breaker hits. So this is going to be effective block breaker rate. And for 35% chance, I got between 30 and 50%. For 78%, I managed to get some gear to get 78%. I got about 65% on average. For 80%, I got 70% on average. So basically, the more block breaker gear you have, the higher chance you will get. So this thing is confirmed without a shadow of a doubt. Block breaker does stack. The other question I had was, is there a limit? Until what limit it stacks? And, oh my freaking god, my microphone was off. Anyway, so the team I'm playing right now, in my opinion, has the highest success of block break. It has Black Dragon Aaron Black, since he is a nomad. He gets 25% unblockable chance from both Sindel and Cassie. And also, I have my best unblockable gear on him, so he gets 125% chance from gear alone. So, in general, he has 175% block breaker rate. And in the game, it's weird because it's not 100% still. I still, once in a while, very rarely, I will get a hit blocked. But it's so rare that I would say it's 99% block breaker ratio. So if there is a limit, it might be like 99%. But look at this. This guy just breaks blocks on the first hit. All the time. If they block, the block is gonna be broken. Like, very rarely, once in a while, he will fail. So I would say it's if it's somehow limited, it's gonna be maybe 99%, 98%. But another thing is very funny, because with certain characters, like for example, I tried Slasher Jason, I tried Guardian Terminator, I tried Leatherface, I tried multiple characters with the same setup. And they get much lower chance. They get about, for example, Guardian Terminator gets around 86% chance. Even with fully maxed out, over 100% block breaker rate. So, what does this mean? I don't know. There is multiple theories on why this happens. The one that I believe is that every character has some hidden value that is based on blockable chance resistance rate. So I don't think there is an actual limit. I don't think there is an actual limit in in the block rate. So I think it's possible to reach 100%. I mean, 100% is the limit, I think. But there is other variables that are at play, like natural block breaker resistance of characters. Because I did notice, when I was running the same towers like multiple times, it's usually the same characters that actually manage to fail my block break once in a while. But some characters never can fail my block break. So again, I have no proof, but from my observation, I've played this for like hours and hours trying to find any similarities, any rules. And the only idea that I have is there is a hidden value that's called block breaker resistance, which there are certain pieces of gear that can actually amplify it and increase it. There's even talent tree perks that can decrease enemy, like basically increase your resistance to block break. And that's why in Faction Wars you get much worse results with block breaker, because a lot of people using that talent. And there is certain gear that can prevent your block breaker abilities. Also, I do believe also that the higher your fusion or power or level or whatever, like it amplifies that hidden stat as well. Because I did this in like lower towers, I get much higher block broker. Like I literally never get my my block break cancelled by anybody, but on like higher levels of battle mode, it happens a little bit more often, like slightly, maybe 1-2 times per tower more, but still I feel like there is a difference. So what all of this means, I just gave you a lot of information. My most important question was, the myth that I wanted to break is, does block breaker stack? And the answer is 100% yes. The questions that I still don't have the answer is, does it pay to get block breaker over 100%? In my experience, I do get slightly better results with this team, for example, where I have 175% block breaker chance. Versus, let's say, if I take out, like if I put him in a different team and I only had 125, I do have more hits blocked. So it feels like there is some correlation. There is like it's not linear. So 175% probably will result in about 99% block breaker rate, but like 125 maybe will be like 90-95% block breaker rate. So it's like there's a weird formula. The point is, the more block breaker the better, but above certain points the results, the returns you get from it is heavily limited. So I don't recommend. I think the maximum you should put unblockable gear you should put in your character is 90%. Anything above that is gonna have very limited returns. But this team is actually insane. Like anybody barely ever blocks. But it's in battle mode. In Faction Wars, it doesn't really matter, because like block breaker doesn't solve everything. You need other things. You need gear that does other critical functions. You need teams that have better synergy than this. Unblockable is important, but from my experience, unless, like, if you're a beginner, it's very important. If you're a beginner, in my opinion, it pays to put 3 unblockable pieces on a character if you can. If you have a diamond and you don't have a maxed out unblockable pieces. So if you like 3 pieces together will give you like 50% chance, I think it's worth it because it does stack. But going above 90% makes no sense. My phone is dead. Thank you for watching. Thank you, members and Patreons. Let me know in the comments your experience with block breaker. And yeah, see you in the next one. Please subscribe and leave a like. I spent 3 hours on this video. That's insane. Goodbye.